So the story of Moroni being a random guy with a monkey comes from a man named Lemon Copley. Lehman? I've seen it both ways. Lehman was an active member of the church, and we have present-day Doctrine and Covenants section 49 in part dedicated to him. So Lemon Copley told the following story to Philastus Hurlbut, Mr. Doctor, which was published in 1834 by E.D. Howe. So Joseph Smith was on trial and Lemon Copley was testifying. So Lemon Copley testifies that he got this story from Joseph Knight, who heard it from Joseph Smith Jr. Lemon was naturally excited by this story and wanted to ask Joseph about it himself. Lemon Copley testifies that later he did ask Joseph and Joseph confirmed that it was true. But of course the story will unfold further. Copley related the story in the following manner. After he had finished translating the Book of Mormon, he again buried up the plates in the side of a mountain, by command of the Lord. Sometime after this, he was going through a piece of woods, on a bypath, when he discovered an old man dressed in ordinary gray apparel, sitting upon a log, having his hand on or nearby a small box. On approaching him, he asked what he had in the box, to which the old man replied he had a monkey, and for 5 coppers Joseph might see it. Joseph answered that he would not give a cent to see a monkey, for he had seen 100 of them. He then asked the old man where he was going, who said he was going to Charzy. Joseph then passed on, and not recollecting any such place in that part of the country, began to ponder over this strange interview, and finally asked the Lord the meaning of it. The Lord told him that the man he saw was Moroni, with the plates, and if he had given him the 5 coppers, he might have got his plates again. Joseph would go on to write in his journal, on April 1st of 1836, that Lehman would visit him that day. Joseph wrote that, Lehman confessed that he bore false testimony against me, but verily thought at the time that he was right. But on calling to mind all the circumstances connected with the things that transpired at the time, he was convinced that he was wrong, and humbly confessed it and asked my forgiveness, which was readily granted. He also wished to be received into the church again by baptism, and was received according to his desire. He gave me his confession in writing. I'm curious about that bit. It sort of sounds like Joseph is bullying Copley into giving him what he wants. I'll let you be rebaptized if you tell everyone you were lying. Copley also appeared in a letter from George Gee in 1841, in which he discusses the Painesville trial with Mr. Dr. Hurlbut. The Joseph Smith papers made a note in this letter that Copley, who was a former Latter-day Saint at the time of the Painesville trial, testified concerning rumors associated with Joseph Smith's visions of the angel Moroni. The men reading his testimony were likely unaware that Copley had recanted his testimony and rejoined the church. Again, I'm not sure where the recantation is located, nor what exactly it says, or if the church is simply basing the existence of the recantation on Joseph Smith's journal. Additionally, Lemon Copley says that he got the story from Joseph Knight, who remained faithful to the church until he died, which was when he was traveling west with the saints. So shouldn't he have talked to Joseph Knight about some of these things? Also, it's not really clear why Lehman was excommunicated to begin with. Was it his mission to the Shakers? Or was it these Moroni monkey stories? Anyway, Copley broke with the saints in 1838, so... One thing that I do think is interesting is how many times Moroni was actually called Nephi in early church history.